This is the Average to Savage podcast with Paul Guarino. Everyone and anyone, athletes, celebs, and much more.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Average Savage podcast. Our special guest today is KJ Sales. KJ, how's it going?
Man, it's going good. How about yourself, man? What's going on?
It's going good. Appreciate you coming on.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Let's just go back in time a little bit. What was your first memory of playing football?
First memory of playing football, man. I'm gonna be real with you. I was playing flag for this end zone sports team, and we lost to a whole bunch of girls. And I'm that day I cried like a baby, man. I was probably like I want to say probably like 11, and the girls were probably like 14, and I was crying like a baby. But ever since that day, I was like, all right, everybody got to get this worked out. You know what I'm saying?
That's funny. That's
but
funny.
Yeah.
So you grew up in Tampa. What was that like?
Growing up in Tampa, man, it's well, back then it was simple. Now everything is pretty much hectic now.
Isn't it? That's the world, huh?
Yeah, it's hectic now. Everybody's moving down here. But back then, growing up where we grew up, a little bit about us, we came from, a different neighborhood. And then, of course you have the suburbs out here. So it's a different, I got the chance to live the best of both worlds. And like I said, coming from where we come from, my family comes from poverty. So we kind of just, I was always taught to never look at the next person just because they don't have what you have, because it was at one point you didn't have what this person had. You know what I mean? So, growing up here, it's like I said, it's the best of both worlds. You can get either or, but I wouldn't change my city. I love my city. Like I said, I'm running for mayor here within the next 10 years. So that's the plan. That's the goal. That's still the main goal. So yeah, man, everything's intact.
Yeah. Now going into high school, what was your recruiting process like with the just offers and like how you got to choose and things like that?
I ended up with 41 offers. The recruiting process for me, I remember I was the only sophomore starting on my varsity team. And then that year, I started. The recruiting process in general, the landscape started to change. You can kind of tell it was shifting to social media, because then they wanted everybody to get Twitter, and so the coaches could direct message you and things like that. And then I remember the end of my junior year. That's when things started to change. I had my first offer from Cincinnati. And that was when, I was living with one of my best friends. His dad also played in the league, so he kind of molded me into who I am today. And when I got that offer from Cincinnati, it started rolling in from there.
Mm-hmm. How like all right, what were like the final three or the final five schools?
Iowa, Carolina, West Virginia, USF, and I want to say Maryland. I want to say
Which Carolina?
North Carolina, UNC.
Gotcha. And then what did it come down to ultimately pick South Florida?
I ended up going to UNC. I ended up going to UNC. And then I transferred to South Florida in 2019. So it was kind of like, I knew the head coach that was there at USF at that time. I knew he wasn't going to be there. So Gene Chizik, he recruited the hell out of me and a couple other Florida homeboys that I know down here from Jacksonville. So we all went up there. They were winning at that time. That's when they went to the ACC championship. My boy Switz was the all-time leading punt returner there, and we just got to talking, and that's what it was.
Gotcha. And then so tell me, like what was it like playing at UNC, like on the field, and then what was it like going like to school and being a student as well?
Yeah, man. A lot of people don't. I mean, if you know, UNC is a very prestigious school, man.
Yeah.
It's hard to get into. And I remember, just the culture shock when I got there. It was a lot. It's different. It's different. It was different than what I was used to. And then once I got used to it, you know, the people there are great. You know, and then, you know, football wise, that time during that time when I was playing, you know what I'm saying, we wasn't winning like that. And then, you know, the year before we were winning, we had Mitch Trubisky at quarterback. And you know, 2016, my freshman year, and we played Georgia in the Peach Bowl. And we lost to Georgia. I think we lost, yeah, we lost to Georgia. And you know, after that year, we had a down year, and we had another down year after that. And then I ended up getting hurt that year. The following year, and then I ended up transferring to USF. But going to UNC, man, it helped shape who I am. I made a lot of long life friends, relationships, you know, that I'll cherish. It's actually a good school to go to for sure. I definitely would want my son to consider going there for sure.
Yeah, that's dope. When you were there, did they have the Jordan stuff yet?
Man, not so my first year there, they were Nike.
Yeah.
And then my sophomore year, they were making the transition to Jordan. That's when I guess Jordan wanted to make
Yeah.
he wanted to come in and, you know, make a few collegiate schools part of, you know, his brand. And Carolina was the first school I think that he started with.
Yeah.
Um, and so just seeing that, it was crazy because the Carolina Blues, like, we gonna be wearing Jordan cleats on the field. And
Yeah.
I remember we had the Jordan, I think it was Jordan 11s, I want
Yeah.
to say. Man, listen, dude, I remember rocking those in the game. I could never get used to it though, because it used to hurt my feet. And I was
Yeah.
like, hell no, I can't play in this. But it was good though, man. Like the gear, it was definitely different. And I think it changed, you know, the paradigm of college football as far as uniforms and things like that.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, just his brand in general is crazy, and like he
Oh
has
yeah.
European soccer teams now with his logo
Oh
on.
yeah, yeah. Nah, it's
Like,
definitely
when you
different.
really think about it, it doesn't even make sense. You got like a basketball logo on a football jersey or a soccer
Right.
jersey. That's
Right. I
just
mean, but
savage
it
right there.
worked. It worked though. Like
Yeah, I
it
know. Yeah,
worked for
yeah,
Carolina. Like you could sell that, and
yeah.
they selling the hell out of it, man. Like it works. So,
Did you end up getting any like exclusive kicks?
oh yeah. Man, listen. I think those were I think some. I'm not familiar with shoes, man.
Yeah,
But it was something I want to say retro. I want to say it was something with 12s, man.
yeah.
Something like that. And
That's dope.
we all it was, I guess, not it wasn't even out yet. We had some shoes that didn't even touch like the stores or anything yet.
Yeah,
And I remember that year, some of my teammates, we were like, shoot, how
yeah,
much
yeah,
could we sell these for?
yeah,
And it was like, well, you get a whole bunch of money for this if
yeah,
you sell them, you know. But you know, it was, you know, like those shoes, man, it showed like, bro, like people really pay a lot of money for
yeah.
shoes, man. Like it's crazy. Like it's,
The Oregon ones go crazy. The Oregon Jordan ones when they come out with them, like there was
oh
ones
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah,
sold for
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
hundreds of thousands.
Most
It's
definitely, most
crazy.
definitely, most definitely.
I know you mentioned Mitch Trubisky. Did you see, like, you know how his stock went up like really high at his senior year?
Yeah,
Did you see that in him like while you were playing with him?
yeah, man. I mean, Mitch was always nothing could really shake Mitch. Even now, like just watching him, like, you know, he still has that same demeanor. Um, whether he's up, whether he's down, you will never know with Mitch because Mitch is just even killed. But I remember watching him, and I remember talking to him when I first came in, and he was like, "Man, you know, I don't really worry about like the whole stock thing. I just go out and play." And that's what he did. Like he just went out and played. But the offense was centered around Mitch Trubisky, and it helped him. Like the offense that they were in, it helped him, you know, raise his stock. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? Just because of the offense it was. So, you know, I like I said, I've seen Mitch the transition. I've seen, you know, his stock rise from we don't know if he's gonna be a fifth round quarterback to a first round quarterback. Like Mitch did that. So
Yeah,
for he did that for sure.
yeah, that's dope. And then what led you to transferring?
My son, I had a son in 2017. And then my grandmother, she passed away in 2019, and then my sister passed away a little bit after that, a week after that. So mentally, man, I felt like it was time for me to come back home and make an impact in my community just because of the tragic events that happened with my sister. And I felt like I could do that in my community. And I did accomplish that. But my family, my son, just being a father, that made me want to transfer back home because I felt like that was more important, than anything that I had going on in my
Mhm.
life. You know what I mean? So that was really the main thing for me.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean that definitely makes sense. What did just having a son, how did that like change your life?
Man, it changed. It made me mature in a lot of ways. I matured a lot. You know what I'm saying? So I think when people have children, you have to grow up really fast because it's not a book on how to be a parent.
Yeah.
Nobody can write a book on how to be a parent. You just do it as you go and you learn as you go. And I grew up with my son, King. I grew up with him. We grew up together. We're still growing up together. He's 5 now. And I really feel that, that made me mature in a lot of ways. And it made me see what's important, what's not important, what I have to cut off, what do I have to change in my life. So it made me change a lot of things, man, and that's what was important for me.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. That's awesome. And then just overall, what was your career like at USF? I know you did really well. I know you got invited
Yeah,
to like the different
yeah,
bowl
yeah, yeah.
games and things like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, 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 yeah. Well, my career to be honest, when I was transferring there, I was like, man, I used to ask questions like, man, could I really do it here? Like, could I do it? And when I transferred there, I'm not gonna lie to you, I was scared as hell. Like, cause I'm like, man, I'm coming back home.
Yeah.
USF isn't really winning like that. They were winning, but in the national spotlight. But when I came back, I ended up being an All-American that year. And then after that, I became an All-American. I kind of, I was all AAC. And then, I got invited to a lot of bowl games, and that's when COVID hit.
Yeah.
And when COVID hit, it kind of messed up everything, the structure of everything. How to get in front of different scouts. It was kind of hard to get in front of scouts, and do those, necessary workouts, as far as the football part,
Mhm.
going against other guys, one-on-ones, different things like that. So uh transferring to USF was probably the best thing that I could ever do for myself, as far as implementing myself in the community for real. So
Mhm. Yeah, for sure. So did you guys play like a full season or was that like a half season?
nah, we played a full season during the COVID season. It was a
Sure.
full season, but it was weird though,
Yeah.
man. Like it was really weird. Like some days you'll have your starting people, and then some days you won't.
Yeah.
It was just weird. Like I didn't understand it. But like I said, it was definitely a learning experience. We definitely all have a story to tell our kids about the
Yeah.
COVID pandemic. So, like I said, I wouldn't change a thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And then just tell me about like, or actually when did you know like you could go to the next level? Was there like a moment in college? Did you already
Yeah.
know like in high school?
Um, I kind of figured my sophomore year, when I was top 5 in the ACC for pass breakups, and I kind of start, getting a little buzz a little bit, and my head coach started talking to me a little bit like, hey, you can really, make some noise here, and if you, keep putting together seasons like this.
Mhm.
So that's when I kind of knew. I always knew like I was, athletic enough, and I had the proper mindset. Because like I said, once I step on the field, what I'm saying, it's just me and you. I
Yeah.
don't give a damn who you are, what pedigree you have. It's just the mindset coming from where I come from. If you line up in front of me, I'm gonna get in your shit. Excuse my language, but
Yeah.
that's just what it is, and I'm just being totally transparent with you. But that you gotta have that type of mindset when you step on the field.
Mhm.
And that's the things that I instill in my son. But I've always known, like I said, blind faith. It's the things that you can't see. You know what I mean? So I've always saw that. And I've always prayed on it, and it happened.
Mhm.
Everything that I prayed on, it happened.
Yeah, and then like tell me like how How you tried out for the Charger? You were on the Chargers preseason, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So what was that like to actually get your shot at the NFL?
Oh man, it was special. Just the way everything just transpired. I was undrafted. I had to go all the way to San Diego to a hub camp,
Mhm.
just to be seen by scouts, just to do what I was supposed to do at bowl games because of COVID,
Yeah,
to do that at this camp and be seen by, the New England Patriots, the Miami Dolphins, the Denver Broncos, the Chargers. And I remember when I did this camp, he said, "Man, how do we let you slip through the cracks?" I was like, "Man, I don't know." But after that, I worked out for the New England Patriots, and then I worked out for the Miami Dolphins, and they wanted to sign me. And the LA Chargers, they were already on the phone with me. It's like, "Look, man, we're gonna sign you right now. You got a legit shot, to make this team." And I ended up signing with them. My cousin Jaleel actually played for them. Jaleel Adai actually played for the Chargers for a couple of years, I think for about 7 years. And that's really what it was, man. It was definitely special to go against Keenan Allen, T. Billy, and a lot of those guys. Just to learn from those guys, man. And Chris Harris, a OG of mine, I still talk to him to this day. Derwin, me and Derwin played Team Tampa together, so it was really like walking in a family atmosphere, because I knew some of the guys. Some of the guys are from Florida. Man, it was definitely special, but I'm definitely looking forward to
yeah,
getting back at it, making another run at it for sure.
yeah, definitely. I know you mentioned Keenan Allen. That's like my favorite wide receiver. So
Yeah,
and I think he's super underrated because nobody like the media, I'd say doesn't give him credit. Like,
man, listen, I'm gonna tell you this right now. And I'm being totally transparent with you. A lot of the receivers that y'all see that they mention top wide receivers are not top wide receivers. Just, just keep it a band with you. Keenan Allen is a top 5 wide receiver.
yeah,
And I'm always honest about, guys I go against. Like, if you like that, you like that. Keenan is like that. I'm gonna tell you right now, Keenan Allen, and please don't misconstrue his speed. Don't get his timing wrong, because he can run.
yeah,
Even at this part of his career, he can still run. So just going against him, man, and getting the respect of him, man, actually talking to him, man, like, bro, like, keep your head right, bro. You could really make the scene. I talk to Keenan every now and then, but like, it's a respect thing that I got a lot of respect for Keenan, and he's definitely a top 5 wide receiver in the league. And that ain't no question,
yeah.
when he healthy for sure.
Yeah, that's dope. No, that's dope. Like that's even cooler. Like you just mentioned that like these guys, like back. I feel like back in the day it was kind of more like rough and like, they'd just be like screw the rookies and things like that.
Oh
But
yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah,
cool.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. Most definitely.
that's cool that you even keep in touch with them. Those people to this day.
Right.
So yeah, obviously COVID was rough years and things like that. And now so this year you got drafted in the XFL to the DC Defenders.
Yes,
So how
sir.
excited are you to go out there? I know you're going out there this week. So
Yeah.
how excited are you?
Man, I'm extremely excited, dog. It's like I said, like, I'm just excited to just go out and play ball.
Yeah.
That just I always call myself a dog, and I always let my play speak for itself. But I'm
Mhm.
gonna let my play speak for itself. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just what it is. I'm thankful for the opportunity, like The Rock, Miss Danny Garcia, putting this whole thing together, man. It's amazing to see what people can do, to bring other opportunities and different, create different avenues to different things in life. I'm excited, dog. I'm really excited about this opportunity.
Yeah.
Um, to get a chance to play again, and show that I am more than capable,
Yeah.
regardless of anything. So I'm excited to get out there, bro, and do my thing. So
Yeah, for sure. Not to be cliche, but I think the third time is a charm for the XFL because like during they were doing it during COVID and they
oh
were like
yeah,
killing it. The media outlets
yeah,
were picking everything up, like they were going viral
oh
every week.
yeah,
So I was like, all right, like this is legit, and like people were picking up the fandom and all that. So I
yeah,
think it's gonna be really good, especially obviously The Rock now.
most
I
definitely.
know you guys are there's gonna be no quote unquote like home games or whatever you want to call it or home teams or because I know you guys will all be stationed in Dallas, so I think you're gonna have like a kind of COVID feel, which might not be good memories, but I get it. But I seen it with the Pro Lacrosse League actually does the same thing where they just go to different places each weekend and have the games.
Well, we'll actually be in our home fields.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
we'll actually be playing in our home fields. We just won't be living there.
Yeah,
We'll be
yeah.
living. So, I mean, I get it what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm just excited for the opportunity, man. Really.
Yeah, for sure. Where you guys are playing at the soccer field, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. The one in
At the
DC.
I think it's Audi Stadium.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what do you have you been like talking to your teammates and things like that?
Yeah. I've been talking to a lot of them. My boy Reggie. Different teammates. A teammate of mine that's from down here. Artavis is going up there. He played with the Chicago Bears. He was running back. Went to Oregon State.
Mhm.
From Polk County, the Polk County area down here. So it's a few guys that I know that's in it. One of my teammates got drafted to the XFL Battlehawks. So I'm excited to kind of get to work, man, and to see all my guys succeed, really, man.
Yeah.
That's the main goal for sure.
Do you like write down your goals?
Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely.
So what are some of your goals? You don't have to tell me all of them.
Um, I'll give you one. I'll give you one. For the XFL, I'll give you one. I plan on taking back 2 punt returns for a touchdown. So
All right.
that's one of the goals that I got in mind. And I'm looking forward to it, dog. Like I said, I ain't doing too much talking, man.
Yeah. I feel you. All right. What advice would you give to like a young football player, either like trying to get a D1 scholarship or trying to go pro?
Well, today it's different. Times are different than it used to be for sure. And it's crazy saying that because I'm still young and
Yeah. You're
times
making
are
me feel
very.
old. I'm 30, so
It's crazy, man. Just the landscape of how they're changing college football and everything of that nature. I
even
would
with
say
the transfer rule is crazy how they could just now they could just
just the
bounce
transfer rules in
the pros
general.
now.
I would say, um, never don't be scared of competition. You can't be scared of competition. That's one. You got to know your worth and know how good you are, but you can't focus on the now. You can't focus on what's going on in your life at that very moment. Yeah, you want to be where your feet are, but like I said, know your worth and know, you know what I'm saying, that there is light at the end of the tunnel. Because now it's even tougher than ever. Just to get scholarships with the transfer portal and everything like that. Um, Continue to work because a lot of kids don't like to work, man. Just work hard and everything else to take care of yourself. Prime example, my boy Tank Dell. Tank Dell is one of the top wide receivers, one of the best wide receivers I ever had the chance to go against. And he's just listening to his story. He had to go JUCO, had to go to a lower FCS school, and then made the transition in Houston, and he went crazy.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't just I'm going D1 off the bat. No, like it was the hard route, and he knew his worth, and he knew, like I'm good enough to do this. And now he's one of the best wide receivers to come out in this 2023 class, and he's going to be drafted high. So just continue to work hard and believe in yourself. Because if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will. So you got to believe in yourself for sure. That's the advice I would give.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's like maybe like I don't know I can't think of the word right now, but pretty much everyone's path is different. Like you just said, like you could go JUCO. I think everyone always like is targeting D1 and things like that. Even just the FCF, like if you ball out there, people are gonna notice you. Like it
They
doesn't.
gonna know.
Yeah.
Don't know. They gonna
Even
know.
like
So
because it's funny because I went to like a small D1 school, Sacred Heart, and it's just like even the basketball kids, they always transfer, and I'm just like, and they're balling out, like they're averaging like 20, and I'm like, yo, if you stay here and you average 20 for like people are gonna notice because you're out,
right.
you're in the, ESPN, they don't discriminate versus the FCF and the small
Definitely.
school. It's
They
the
don't at
stats
all.
are all up there.
At all. For
So
sure.
yeah, it's a weird thing. I think I mean I get it because it's just like you see the D1 schools on TV and TV. So I think
Right.
that's like the thing too. But anyways, you ready for some fun questions?
Let's do it. Let's do
All
it.
right, who was your favorite player growing up?
Oh man, that's tough because I had a few, but
All right,
if
give me
I
your
had
top
to,
three. Give me your top three.
okay, all right. So it was definitely Ocho Cinco,
All right.
Ocho Cinco, Tyra
Speaking of
Mack.
careers afterwards, because I know me and you talked about you want to always focus on your career afterwards as well, which is smart. He's a perfect guy to
Prime
you want to,
example.
yeah, you
Perfect,
want to
perfect,
replicate.
perfect. Ocho is definitely one of my favorite players growing up. Ed Reed, who was a safety, and Tyron Matthew. Tyron Matthew, man, he was just a flat out dog. Like
Yeah.
that's what you call, hey, get in the paint. We're gonna put our hands up. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna stop swinging until I see you fall. So you better knock me out. You know what I'm saying? Tyron Matthew. That's those three guys, man, are guys that I really gravitated towards just off of mindset alone.
Yeah.
You could tell their mindsets were just different.
Yeah.
So, and personality wise as well, like they had fun doing it. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Yeah. So it's all about you gotta have that balance.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure.
All right. So if I come to Tampa, what food spot do I gotta check out?
Ooh, I'm gonna be real. You gotta go to Burger Spot, man.
All right.
But in my personal opinion, they got the best burgers that I've ever had in my life. And I done had some burgers, dog. They have the best burgers that I've ever had in my life. Ever. Burger Spot. Check it out. If you come down here, I would personally take you myself. For
All
real.
right. There we go. I'll ask my boy too. He's from Tampa, so
All right, for
I'll
sure.
ask him about the spot. Um,
Uh,
how did you get the nickname, the Mayor of Tampa?
Man, so honestly, when I came back, everybody was calling me K9. They still do. However, the transition when the COVID year happened, I kind of transitioned. I started reading a lot more, transitioned my mind, and that's when the thing happened with George Floyd. And then I said, you know what? I'm gonna get my community together, and I'm gonna create a unity walk, an annual unity walk. And I remember at that time, it was like, nah, you can't do it. It's gonna be violence everywhere, and da 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 da. And I'm like, nah, man. Like I know my city. Like I have love from the people. So ever since that day, everybody was like, man, you need to run for mayor one day.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm definitely that's definitely a goal of mine. And then, me and the current mayor, Jane Castro, we got connected, and she nominated me as the mayor of the day for the day, of course. And I got a chance to see the ins and outs and how they do things. And ever since that day, everybody in the city they proclaimed me as the mayor of Tampa or the future mayor of Tampa. So I just rolled with it, and that's definitely a goal of mine for sure.
Yeah, no, that's dope. And what do you want to do after playing football?
I like I said, of course, later on down the line, I want to run for mayor here in Tampa, and then I for sure, want to do TV, college game day, broadcasting, get into that to that field, just because personality alone. I've always, like I said, the camera isn't meant for everybody,
Yeah.
and so that's always been me. I've always been good at it. It's always been something that I love to do. So that's definitely something that I look forward to doing.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. It's awesome. That's always good to have goals while you're still playing for afterwards. And you could do both too, because a lot of people do it. Well, appreciate you coming on, and could you let the listeners know where to follow you at?
Man, you can follow me at the real THAREAL _K9 on Instagram and on Twitter at KJ2Live.